So this is Bullet, and I decided to do a before and after video with her since it's been a while that I've done one, and I'm only going to have this mare for 30 days. And she is actually a really nice mare. She's 8 years old. She's already been started on the pattern. However, she has a lot of holes in her foundation. So basically, I'm just going to fill those holes and get her nice and soft and get her engaging her hind end better around the barrel and through the turn. So one of the first things I check for whenever I get a new horse in is their softness. And I go through all of my checks and balances. So basically that's going to consist of all the basic stuff in foundation. So I'm going to check for their flex, see how well they can flex, their lateral flexion. She's doing a pretty good job. And I like to check for if they can break at the pole. So if I can pick her belly up with my feet, I like to squeeze my heels. As for her face, she's not quite sure. There we go. She wasn't really sure what I wanted. You could tell she kind of like moved forward, moved around. I didn't make a big deal of it. I just kept asking her, and she gave me her face, and I immediately let go. This is my third ride on her so far, so she's going to be really rusty. It probably won't be very pretty, but that's the point, is I want you guys to see like the ugly and how we get to pretty. So that's the three most important things I feel like that I check for first. And then I like to do all three of those in motion. So I'm going to check for her flexness while I'm moving forward, her lateral flexion. I'm going to do that a walk first. This is something I've been doing the past 2 rides on her as well, and she's actually already getting softer. But you can tell she's still not real comfortable with it. Like, she kind of fights me. She's constantly reaching on the bit a little bit. She pulls her head down. She tries to pull away from me. I just ignore it. I don't ever try to get in her face. I just make it no big deal and just keep asking her. Now I'm going to go the other way. And this is all just very, very basic stuff. Don't make it complicated. I just want to see how well she can stay on a circle and hold her form. So can she walk in a circle? You know, if you could draw an imaginary line on the ground, a circle, can she stay on that line? See right there, she kind of went off course. And can she hold her shape the whole time? So just real basic. That's all I'm asking her to do right now at a walk. See right there, she got off, she got confused. I want a horse to do this naturally. I want them to do it and not try to fight me. Just to be real nice and natural and soft and willing. And we'll get there eventually. She's still just like, why are we doing this? This is pointless. So there. We got that accomplished. Now I want to do it at a trot. I'm not going to pose, so I'm just going to do a sitting trot. The reason being is because I really can't ask her to collect and be correct in her form at a post like I can at a sitting trot. So she's fighting against me, if you can tell. I'm not pulling or holding her. I'm just bracing against her. If she pulls against me, I'm just kind of holding that shape until she gives to the pressure, which she will, and then I release. See how this is just kind of ugly all over the place? So now I'm just going to switch it up. Easy. Not let her get excited. Go the other way. And I can tell she hasn't really been asked to do this. She kind of acts like she doesn't know how to collect. And when you see her loping, you'll be able to see that too. And the thing is, they have to be able to collect at a trot before they can collect at a lope. So she seems a little bit softer to this direction, which is normal. lot of horses have one good side and one bad side. And while I'm doing this, I'm using my feet. And I'm asking her to move her body around. But I don't want her to get out of control. I want her to stay collected. Easy. You can see her fight me and kind of throw her nose up a little bit. That's fine. I ignore it. I don't get mad. I don't jerk on her. I just make it no big deal, and I just keep asking her to do it correct. When she gets out of control, I pull her back to me. Good girl. Eventually, she'll do this real nice and soft and light and willing, and she'll look like a pro. Right now, she's just confused. She doesn't really know what I want. And she's just trying to find an out. And I'm not making it difficult for her. I'm just staying real light, real easy the whole time. She's starting to soften up a little bit already. And I try to make sure I don't keep doing the same thing. I want to mix it up. I want to move her over. Easy. Ask her to turn a little bit tighter. Bring her out. She wants to get that head up. Pull her back to me. Easy. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. When she gets soft, I want to make sure she knows that's what I want. So I talk to her and I tell her, good girl. See how she's starting to really get her head down now? And get softer already? That's what I want. She's still going to get her head up every now and then. Good girl. Now I'm going to stop her. Whoa. Good girl. Every time I back up, I squeeze my heels. Good girl. See how she dropped her head down? I'm going to do that and ask her to back. 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 And again, it's ugly. It's not pretty. Good girl. But eventually I want to squeeze my heels and ask her to back and barely even have to touch the reins. That's the goal. And that motion, when I'm walking those circles and doing the checks and balances at a sitting trot, I'm squeezing my heels, like I'm basically wrapping my legs around her, almost as if I could literally pick her belly up. That's what, I mean, I can't actually do that, but that's the motion and the feel you want to have in your legs, like you're trying to pick their belly up, and what that does is that picks their belly up and it drops their head down. And it collects their body and rounds their back, just the whole form. So that same button, squeezing my heels and asking for her to give me her face, break at the pole, whoa, back, good girl. That right there, that's what I do when I'm trotting, when I'm walking, to get that. And not the whole time. I don't ever hold it and brace it. I want a horse to be able to collect freely as well. But I also want them to know what that means. So anyways, that's at a walk and a trot. Now I'm gonna lope. You can stop. So now I'm gonna lope her and kind of do the same thing, but you guys are gonna see what I mean by her not really knowing how to collect. She actually feels a lot better today than she did the first 2 days. Good. But you can still see she's kind of fighting me every now and then. Good girl. I just really try to stay center and stay as deep in my seat as I can. She pulls and fights against me. I don't make it a big deal. I don't pull against her. I just keep asking her to be correct. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So she finally brought that head down, which is really nice. Good girl. See that right there? That teaches a horse to engage with their hind end. And that's where they get all their power in a turn. So if she turns a barrel like this at a run, that's what we want. Good girl. Good girl. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop her. Oh, that was really good. I wish I had filmed 2 days ago because it was not that good. Back. So this is ugly. Let's start over. We'll squeeze. Back. Cut it. Back. Good girl. Good girl. So pretty soon, like I said, when I back her, I'll squeeze, she'll drop her head and she'll back up. Right now it looks like a disaster, but it won't always look that way. I'm gonna give her a minute just to chill. She did really good. Big old deep breath. Good girl. Now I'm just gonna ask her for her face, just kind of remind her. Good girl. And y'all, this is like so basic stuff, but if they don't know how to do this off the pattern, they're not gonna do it on the pattern. And honestly, like I won't even do barrel work with her. I only have her for 30 days. And the goal is to get her stronger on the pattern. I won't even do barrel work with her until a solid week of doing this. Maybe even 2 weeks. Because once she gets this down really good, the barrels will be easy for her. She'll just like flow right into it and it'll be so easy. So now I'm gonna go to the right and do the same thing. And remember, she was softer to the left at a trot. So she's, you know, it's the same thing at a lope. She's gonna be better to the left. So she's not gonna be quite as soft to the right. But she's kind of pulling on me a little bit. But the goal is to get her balanced. Easy. So same thing, I'm not gonna ask her to lope until I feel like she's controlled and soft. So we wanna get a good start. Good girl. So now I'm gonna go ahead and ask her. Good girl. She starts off really strong. See how she's kind of pulling against me? Good girl. Not gonna make it a big deal. I'm gonna ask her to stop again.